Hello everyone, welcome back. I'm so glad that you joined in this video again. So do you know that most of our prayers are going unheard by God? Even though we use so many beautiful words to formulate it, we put so much efforts to build a beautiful prayer list, but what if it is not heard by God on the other side, and what if we don't get a proper response to it? What is the reason for our prayers to go unheard by God on the other side, and what are the techniques that we must follow so that heaven will well document our prayers and will also send an appropriate response at the appropriate time? So we will look into all such things in this video, but before that, where did prayer originated from, or where the concept of prayer came from, why God seems to be living in this unknown imaginary world? If you want to know all these answers, you can go and check my previous video which says why God seems to be living in this unknown imaginary world. Now let's check the reason for our prayers to go unheard by God on the other side. A prayer is similar to a text message that we send from a source to a destination. Now, for a text message which is sent from a source, if it has to reach the destination, there is this one particular thing which is very important between the source and the destination, and that is called the connection. There must be a strong connection that is established from the source to the destination. Only then that message will properly reach to the destination. If in case the connection is not strong, then the message may get delayed, or if the connection is broken, then the message won't get reached to the destination. So it's very important to establish a proper connection for a message which is sent from a source to reach the destination. Also, if the train which sent from a source station, if it has to reach the destination station, then the tracks must be properly connected between the source station and the destination station. If the tracks is not properly connected, or if the connection is not properly laid, then we can't expect the train to reach from the source to the destination. So connection is very important. So in terms of prayer, we are the source, we who pray are the source, and God is who receives the prayer is the destination. A proper connection must be established from us to God for our prayers to reach God. Most of the times we don't even think about whether there is somebody on the other side listening to what we are praying. We just randomly say all the things, recite all the shopping lists that we need from God, and we also say a few thanks and we just walk away. Even our hearts and mind is sometimes not involved in what we are saying, and also we say so many things in a hurry, and then just we walk away finishing our prayer. So that must be one of the reasons why our prayer is not reaching to God, and we are not able to get a proper response from God at the correct time. Prayer is also not a one-way communication, but it's a two-way communication where both the sides must equally participate. Only then our prayers will be productive. So how do we build a connection with God for our prayers to reach Him and for His answers to reach us? We will understand this process of establishing a connection with the help of a phone call. If you remember in the last video I said giving a call to the Lord is called prayer. So prayer is also like a communication on a phone by the two sides. So the first thing that we do when we have to talk to someone through a phone call is we would go and look for a place which will have a very strong network connection, and then that place also should be a quiet place, because if we are in a noisy place we'll not be able to hear what the person on the other side is saying. So we will go at a very calm and quiet place which has a very strong network connection. The next thing that we do is we dial that number, or if the number is already saved, we would directly search that number, and then we would give a call. And then we put the phone very close to our ears, and then comes the most important step, that is the waiting process. After we have completed these steps, what we do is we keep on waiting till the other person receives the call, till we hear that magical word called hello from the person on the other side. So during this waiting time, if you look at our attitude, our hearts and minds will not be processing or thinking on a lot of things. At that time we'll be definitely keeping our mind so calm. We forget and we quieten our minds. We also quieten our hearts and keep our mind and heart focused on that small still voice of the person on the other side, which is is going to say hello. So the process goes like this. We eagerly wait with a calm mind and a calm heart at a very quiet place, eagerly waiting for the other person to say hello and eagerly waiting for the other person to receive the call, because we do not know when the person will receive the call, when the person is going to pick the call. So because of that, because we are not sure of the exact time, we'll be waiting as long as it takes, and we keep ourselves so calm, focused on the person on the other side. So this is the process that we follow before we start our conversation on phone. And this is also the exact process that we must follow to build a connection prayer with God even before starting our conversation. So this process ensures a strong connection has been built, and our prayers would easily travel through that connection, and also the answers from God may also travel through that connection to us. So those are the exact steps that we are going to do while we pray to build a connection. The first thing that we did there was we found out a very quiet and calm place so that the voice of the surroundings will not overpower the voice we are going to hear from the other side. So that's what we are going to do. The first step is to find a very quiet and calm place. So after you have found out, next thing that we did there was we searched for the name or number of that person, and then we started for the waiting process till the connection was established and till the other person came online. Now after we have found a quiet and a calm place to sit and pray, the next thing that we're going to do is search for the other person and waiting process. So this will establish a proper connection. So how we are going to search for God before we start to pray? So we can do it by following two steps. First, bring God in front of your eyes and then focus on God. And before doing that, we must first quieten the things of this world, all the things that is going around in your mind, all the waves and storms, all the thoughts. We must calm them first, and then we can focus. During our phone calls, we don't directly pick the phone and start talking with the other person, but we wait for the connection to be established. Only then we start our conversation. So we are going to do that same technique, same method. We're going to follow it here. Likewise, in our daily prayers, we must spare some time before we start to pray to build this connection. If you are time conscious and if you just have for just 5 to 10 minutes to pray, then it will be difficult. Then it will be very difficult to establish this connection, and the method will really take some time. So spare some time every day to build a connection before you start praying. So after you have found out a quiet place to pray, don't just start praying or start saying anything, but first sit there, get relaxed, let all the things that is going on in your mind and your heart calm down. Keep your mind and heart calm and relaxed and focused. So how do we do this calming down process? This is actually called waiting process or a deep quietening process. You know, Benny Hinn would say that waiting on the Lord is like just go there and sit down and shut up. It means don't say anything, just wait for all the thoughts, all your minds, all the storms to calm down completely. And this quietening of the mind is not just forget your thoughts and be relaxed, but it is a deep process. Quietening your mind or waiting is a deep process. The more you still your mind and you silence your mind and heart, the more you will be able to focus. So work on this process every day, and this process is like just quieten your mind, go deeper. Quietening our mind or calming our mind is a deep process. We may go as deep as you want. Much as deeper we go, that much a strong connection will be established. So practice going deeper, practice quietening your mind and calming your mind more deeper every day. And after you're done that, after you're completely silenced your mind and you're still, then start focusing on God. So how you're going to do it? Just bring God in front of your eyes and just focus on God. Don't say anything, but just let your mind be completely focused. And this focus is also a deep process. You can just go on focusing. Do it the more you can. And the more you calm your mind, the more you focus, the more connection will be more deeper. Now this quietening our minds and focusing process and building this connection may not happen in one single day, but as you practice this every day before you start your prayer, you may develop a deep connection and you build a deep and a strong connection with God. So let me give you a small example of this building connection process. If you may have seen the people making this borewells, process of making borewell goes like this, that they create holes in the place which is completely closed and thick. They make deep holes in that area, and then they insert this hollow pipes in that areas, and they do it much deeper. Upon this hollow space, these pipes are inserted and a hollow space is created for water to travel easily upwards. This hollow space makes it very easy for water to travel, and the more deeper the space is being created, the more deeper water you can draw, and the more deeper it is, the more longer you can draw water. And if you look deeply, if you look at this process, if you look at this example, the hollow spaces is being created in a place which is completely closed before. So this is what our connection is. When we follow this method of quietening our minds deeply and focusing, we are actually creating this hollow space into this completely closed atmosphere, and this connection will start from us and will reach God. If it has to be stronger and deeper, we must practice this every day. So this process creates a hollow space or a hollow connection for prayers to travel from us to God and from answers to travel from God to us. The more we practice this process, the more deeper our relationship or a connection with God will be built, and the more easily and quickly our prayers will reach to God's God, and He will be able to receive it quickly, and He can hear it and can also send answers to us quickly. Now this connection is not only used as a one-way connection, but it can be used as a two-way connection. Both sides can send information if this connection is stronger and is built well. So do practice it every day. Before you start praying every day, try to quieten and calm your mind down and focus on God, and increase your time for practicing this method. The more quieter, the more calmer you make yourself, and the more you focus, the more the connection will be stronger and your prayers will be heard very quickly. So the other benefit for this type of connection is that heaven will be able to easily intervene in our daily prayers if we build this type of a connection, and overflowing joy and peace, then a healing to our body, heart and soul, comfort and consolation, answers to our prayers, and about the future things, about so many things that we do not know about this world. We can get to know all such things if we build this connection from us to God. So practice these steps every day. You may not get anything from the other side on the first day itself, but if you practice consistently, if you wait on God consistently, you will get to receive these things in the upcoming days. And so take 2 to 3 minutes every day before you start praying to focus and to wait on God, to calm yourself and build this connection. If you read the second book of the Bible, Exodus, it talks about a story of a man called Moses. God told him, come up in the mountain and I will talk to you, but he had to wait for 7 days before God started to talk to him. So it might take a while longer for God to talk, for God to involve, but don't leave these steps. Practice these steps consistently. Now we have learned the steps before we start to pray, what all we need to do. Now let's learn the praying process with God. Now most of us talk to God like talking to a teacher or a principal or a person in higher authorities, but we must talk to God using free, casual and frank words. That's how you build a relationship with someone, with your close friends or with someone in your family. You will talk very frankly, without any fear, without using grammatically or politically correct statements. You would just talk normally. So talk like that. Use frank and normal and easy words. Use a casual kind of a conversation with God. Share everything that is in your heart in an unorganized way and talk to Him as talking to like a friend. So the first thing is talk as casual, as real and as frank as you want. Don't be so formal, be informal in your language. Next, what I want to say is be specific in your conversation. If you're thanking God for something, we thank like, thank you for the day, thank you for the food, thank you for the clothes, and we quickly recite these things, but be specific in everything that you thank God for. Like if you're thanking God for a particular food, then explain every single detail about that food that you like the most. And if you're thanking God for or something that happened in your lives, explain every minute details that was good about it, that you enjoy and you had fun. And if you also want to ask God for something, be very specific. There was once a little boy who was praying to God to give him a car, but after praying for so many days, he couldn't still receive a car at all. So one day God asked him that, you're praying to me for a car, but you haven't told me what type of car you want, the name, the model, the price, the color of the car, all the different features of the car. You didn't tell me at all. So later on he realized that he need to be very specific when he has to ask some things to God. So whenever we are asking something to God, be very specific, include the minute details of that thing they're asking to God. Also, when you're praying, be completely conscious that someone is on the other side listening to you. Whenever we pray, we really just think about what we want and what we are thankful for, and we just say those things. But when we are conscious of someone on the other side, our prayers will be completely different. Even in a normal conversation on a phone with someone, when we know that there is other person on the other side listening to what we are saying, our conversations are a bit different. We have to use a normal conversation with God if we want to develop a relationship with Him, because that's what God created humans for. God created people to have a relationship with Him, to have a normal talk with Him. So you want to build a bond or a relationship with this entity called God, you need to be very casual and very real and very frank with your words and with your language. You can also check the conversations which God had with Adam and Eve, Abraham, Daniel, David, Jacob, and Solomon. They all had this frank kind of a conversation with God. And even Jesus and His disciples, they used a normal and a casual language. Yeah, they definitely had fear and reverence towards God in their hands, but when they talked to Him, it was real and casual. So do practice this kind of a prayer in your prayer times. There are many different kinds of prayer, but if you want to develop a relationship with someone, this is how you communicate with them. Let me also give you a small example. Let me tell you a small story based on this. So there was once a king who was ruling many villages, and he once decided to visit one of the village among the many, and he went to this village. And when he went to that village, the people learned that the king is coming to meet us. They all went there. They all bowed down with respect and with fear and reverence. They treated him with much respect and fear. So there was also a little girl in that village, and she didn't know what a king meant or how a king needs to be treated. So she treated him like a very normal person. She invited him to a place where all her friends were, and she just introduced him to all his friends, and then she also talked to him about all the games they played. She was very normal to the king. And when the girl's dad saw that, he got very angry, and he told the little girl that this is a king, you should not treat him like this. He needs to be respected, you need to treat him with fear, with honor and all of that. But the king stopped the father, and he said, oh, I really felt so good that this little girl treated me like a normal person. Everywhere I go, they treat me like very different. They don't treat me like I belong in the place with them, but they treat me very different. But I really felt so good when this little girl treated me very normal and casual. So that's how even God likes it when you have a casual and normal kind of a conversation with Him. So do try this. Now, after you're done talking on the phone, after you have said everything that you want to say to the other person on the other side of the phone, you don't cut the phone. You really wait, or you really give time for the other person to talk. So that's what also you need to follow in your daily prayers. You should not say amen after you're finished saying anything. You should really wait for the other person to say something, and you should also wait to listen to what the other person wants to say. So many times after we have prayed, God might want to say something, but we just walk away and we will not able to hear what He wants to say. So after you have finished your prayer, whatever you did before you started your prayer, like waiting with eagerness to hear from the other side, and waiting with a calm mind and a calm heart, do that even after you finish your prayers. And during that time, God may talk to you and God may put something in your heart. He may put a strong impression in your heart. He may give an answer to you. He may talk to you about the future or about the secret things in the heaven and in the other places. So do practice this. Give some time, at least 5 or 10 minutes. Just wait there very calmly without saying anything. Wait quietly with a calm mind, with focusing Him, to eagerly wait to listen something from Him on the other side. When you do that, God will be so excited. Oh, this person is waiting for me to say something. So He might also give you the answers at that point of time. Now, you might not get discouraged if this doesn't happen on the first day. If you're really waiting, you're not able to experience anything different, not able to encounter anything different, but consistently just practice waiting before the prayer and after the prayer. You know, Moses waited on the mountain for 7 days before God called him up and God started to talk to him. This may not happen from the very first day, but if we continue to do this every day, on some single day, heaven's intervention may start in your prayers. And while you're waiting, even at the beginning or at the end, make sure that you're waiting with eagerness to hear something from the other side. So in the starting days, might be heaven is just testing you whether you're really that person who will continue to do it for a longer time. That's why you may not get anything from the other side, but when you wait consistently, you may definitely receive something on the other side. You may start to receive something from the heaven very soon. You may also, when you practice this, you may feel the tangible presence of God, you may feel the touch of God, and you may also get direct answers in this point of time when you're practicing all these things. That's all what we saw today. We saw how to wait, how to build a connection, how to focus, and how to stay still and calm ourselves, and to go deeper into this process and to build a connection with God. And next we saw how to pray in a casual language, in a normal language. Say everything that is in your heart to God in a very real and very flawed, very easy language. And also, after we are done talking, after you are done saying anything, do wait for Him to say anything, and eagerly, with eagerness and with desire to hear from the other side, do wait. So practice this with consistency every day, and may heaven intervene in your daily prayers. May you get answers from God every day. May you get something from this conversation every day. Even if you're not receiving anything at that point of time during your prayer, after you've finished your prayer, you may feel a difference in your heart. You may feel a difference in your mind. You may feel like after you finish the prayer, you are now able to sense that answer which God has put into your hearts. So do try this, do check on this, do practice this. It's really great to have a relationship with the Creator of the universe. So if you like this video, like, share and subscribe. Do share the video with others, for others also to know about building a relationship, a connection with God. And subscribe to this channel. Click on the bell icon to get notified the next time I upload a new video. And also in the upcoming days, we'll be seeing how to get an answer from God in an important decision. You know, we have to take an important decision in our life. We would also go to others, looking for other people to give us an answer. But how to get a direct answer from God, how to know whether the answer is correct or not, how to make correct decisions in our life for our lives to be productive enough. So all that will be coming in the upcoming days. In the upcoming videos, we'll see all such things. So do share the video with others, do introduce the videos to others too. And thank you so much for watching this video.